Welcome to another episode of Fill Your Life with Spice. I'm your host, Andrea Parada, and today we have...
Emmy Kim.
Oh, God. I've heard that name so many times this week, it's actually insane.
I know, and I feel awful.
No, don't feel awful. You know, I'm the one who chose to take on this challenge.
Yeah, the challenge of covering the iconicness that is me. I know, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, yeah, you are iconic. What are you talking about?
Girl, I feel like everyone's been, like, overhyping everything I do. In a way. I don't know.
It's almost like you went to Sacramento and you're getting a bill passed to Senate, almost. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. It's almost like you're doing that, you know. No big deal. You know, we're just here making a podcast at your local school, in your local journalism room.
The local journalism room. Oh, the memories.
The memories? Okay, what was the best article you ever wrote for
I only
journalism?
wrote one article that was ever published.
On print? Or
On
in general?
Both. It was the same article. I wrote like 6, and none of them ever were published anywhere.
What? Why?
I don't know. No one published it, and I was
That
like,
is
okay,
interesting
thanks.
information.
Yeah, dude.
So what was that article about?
The article that I wrote for journalism was the like wrestling coach thing. But even then, like what I had written wasn't
that was
even,
for print, right?
Yeah, that was for print. And then
Okay.
it ended up going on the website a couple weeks later, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's there.
Yeah, so they do that. So a couple weeks or a few days after print has been posted, they post it on the website too. Because, you know, they're still stories.
Yeah, that's true.
So that was like your favorite article? Or did you have a better one?
I had a significantly better one that I was really hoping would get published, but I
Okay.
finished it like 3 days before I
print?
officially left journalism.
Oh, okay. So what was that one about?
That was on how Hollywood is whitewashing Asian American stories. And how like the consistent remake of like K-dramas and Korean movies that are happening in Hollywood is whitewashing artists, and it's like whitewashing stories that have so much ethnic value. And I made like a really huge argument for like Parasite in particular.
Love Parasite.
Right?
Oh
they
my
apparently
God.
are trying or were, I haven't really kept up with it, trying to do a Hulu like miniseries with like Mark Ruffalo. And I'm like,
That's
how
odd.
is that story gonna go through? Because like the
Why-
entire concept of the film is like the half basement thing, and that
Mm-hmm.
only exists in Korea. And all of the shots and like the visuals of it all is purely based on like climbing up the ladder and then falling back down. And I'm like, how are you gonna do that in suburban LA, like in America? Like what? Like what? You're gonna take them from like homeless to like a Beverly Hills mansion and then back to homeless? Like what does that even mean? You know? So I was very frustrated. So I wrote an article.
I didn't even know that was like a thing that was ongoing.
Yeah, I was working on it for like 3 weeks.
Why Mark Ruffalo though?
I don't know.
Like, what's he giving? He's not giving anything.
He gives like angry green man, which I don't hate him as
it's
Hulk,
almost
but I was like,
he's the Hulk.
Right, I know it's almost like he's the Hulk.
It's almost like
But
he's
I'm like,
the
who
Hulk.
would he play? What would he be doing?
I don't know, and I think, you know, just Parasite is such a beautiful film that it just needs to stay that way. Sometimes films don't need a second part.
Exactly.
Like, wasn't there-
especially with a white cast.
Yeah, like you can't do that. You know, it's like, you know, Dragon Ball.
I'm aware of it. I did not watch it, but yes.
Okay, so it's like it's an anime. Is it Japanese?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
Okay, I'm gonna take a wild guess with the fact that it might be Japanese.
I'll Google it while you speak.
Yeah, so it's an anime, super old, and imagine they take that or like Naruto and whitewash it. Like
Welcome to being Asian. Like literally, welcome to being Asian. Dragon Ball is Japanese. But
Spot on,
like
baby.
they take everything and then they just like whitewash it. Like, you know that this was bothering me so much, that like Julie Phantom thing, the Netflix show where like she like dates a ghost or something. I don't even know. It's based off of like, I know it's not a telenovela, but it's like something like that.
Are you Latina?
I'm not Latina, but I try to
You might as well be.
I try to do pronunciations justice, or at least as much as I can.
really
But
good.
I know that Julie date ghost thing. I know it's based off of something. It's not a telenovela, but I don't know what it is. But it's something of that esque, right? And then they remade it, and like the main girl is still Latina, right? Which is like, okay, cool. But all the ghosts are white. Everyone else in the story is white, and then there is the thing that bothered me because, like, you know, I as Korean, there is like this group of like I believe it's all white. There might be like one non-white person in this little like clique of like the popular girls. And they occasionally just do like a song and dance number. And I was looking into the behind the scenes of this because I was like, this feels so like starkingly cringy that like it has to be something that's triggering me on the inside. And I found out that they did it all in like inspired by K-pop. And like you can tell by the costuming and like the way that their like formations are in their dances and stuff. It's like very like homage, using that word very lightly to K-pop. And I'm like, you know what's super cool about K-pop and about like the entertainment industry and about America is that if you put out a casting call, like an open call, and just say, we need Asians that can dance, you will find millions. Obviously. And then they pick a bunch of white people to play like little, am I allowed to swear on this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's a bunch of little white people doing like their little bitchy like, oh my God, like I'm better than you because I'm white and I'm in this little dance troupe. And it's like, I'm like, there was no reason, like not that I'm saying that I want like a Korean girl to go on and be like this little bitch, but also like I would love for a Korean girl to have a named character that isn't a doctor in a show or like a karate girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's like we don't get to play the lead, might as well give us the bitch.
Yeah.
If you're going to give us something, give us anything. I feel like it'd be fun. Because like Regina George, like so many of those like iconic characters are the bitch. Give us an iconic Asian bitch.
Oh my God. Imagine a Regina George like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like,
now I want to see that.
Cast me. I know I'm fat, but it's fine. Cast me. I will do it.
No, you will be a bitch.
I can be a bitch if I want to be. I have a very like long patience, but once you break it, I'm out.
We became friends because we were on a Zoom call in class with Mr. Farron. And I recall that Emmy said something in the chat like, hey, I'm new to the school. I don't have any friends because Mr. Farron, like, he wanted us to like have each other's like contact information.
Oh my God, that's right. That is how we first met.
Yeah. And you were like, I'm new to the school. Like, this is my Instagram or my phone number. And I was like,
yeah, you were the first one to add me.
Shit, Mattis. Oh, really?
Yeah, you were the first one.
Oh, I'm such a god. I'm such an OG.
Literally, you are the OG for me.
I am the OG. And after that, I remember like you would participate often.
Yeah,
like,
I tried.
Like history
I got the answers wrong, but I tried.
That's all that matters, you know? That's all that matters. And, you know, I think it was really interesting because that was a really weird class. Like the kind of people that were in there.
Yeah, it was a very
like
odd.
It was mixed very weirdly.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna add names because that's just out of pocket.
It was one of those like group of kids where I was glad it was online and not in person because we would have gotten nothing done.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like you and I could have probably done a
we
really
would
good
have gotten
project.
everything done.
Yeah, like I had my group of people that were like really strong. But then
I didn't turn in anything in that class.
Okay, that's bullshit.
No, I'm not even kidding. The second semester, I didn't turn in anything except for that final project.
You're insane. Did you pass?
No, I had worked it to a D, and then I sent him an email and I was like, "Can you just give me the F and then I'll ingenuity it?" And he was so confused, but I was like, "Please, like I know what I'm doing. Like I'm sorry. I've been like working on stuff and I like completely forgot that school existed. Like I was on the Zooms, but I just like didn't like my brain wasn't on." And so I like forgot everything.
He gave you an F?
Yeah, I asked him to, and he was like, "You asked for it." And I was like, "Yes, please." And so he gave me the F, and then I ingenuity and got the A.
Girl, you literally. So you did that project for what?
Nothing.
Okay, can you talk about that project? Because it was insanely
that project
painful.
was insane. Okay,
you were insane for that.
I was crazy.
She chose that portion.
I am a maniac. Okay, when I have an interest in something, I go in 120% until I literally like cannot do it anymore, right? And so Mr. Farron was like, for our final project, like pick some sort of like civil rights movement in America, and then just talk about the history of it. And he gave us like these like things we have to check off and requirements.
I remember it was civil rights. I did LGBTQ plus.
Yeah, I also did LGBT, and he was like, make some sort of concept and then make like a somewhat creative thing. You can either do like an essay or like a book or a website, a poster or something, or like a PowerPoint or something, or like make a video. Yeah. And I was like, lit, I'm gonna make a book. And then I was like, how do I explain queer history without the reason why I picked LGBTQ plus history was because I've been the director of the LGBTQ plus initiative at the Log Off movement for the past year. As if we don't know. As if we don't know. So I know you've heard me say that sentence like 20 times, and I'm so sorry.
And I've written it 1,000 times.
I know. But because I was like director of the LGBTQ plus initiative, I needed an excuse to really delve into queer history anyway. Like it was on my to-do list, and I just never got to it because I was doing 100 other things. And so I was like, screw it, I'm gonna take this opportunity to like dive deep. And so I was thinking about it, and I was like, what are like things that like exist in this world, right? And so I was thinking back to like children's books, right? And there's a lot of children's books that like teach you how to like, not be an asshole, and like how to, like go to the bathroom and stuff like that, right? And so I was like, what if there is like an ABC book, like a children's book, but it's queer history?
And you did that.
And I did that. So I had 26 things, each a different moment of history or an iconic person. And then I wrote it. And then I made 26 pages plus a cover and a conclusion and a bibliography and like all the extra written essays that we were supposed to write that didn't fit in the book. That Google Doc was like 40 pages long. And I made it with like pictures and color and everything, submitted it, got the full 100%, barely raised my grade to a D, and then asked him to fail me.
See, it's like, oh my God. I mean, I didn't know this part. God
Yeah.
damn.
No, but here's the thing. It's because
What did he say about your project, actually? Did he, like, read through it all?
He apparently read through, like, almost, like, most of it.
Most of it.
Because it was a lot. I gotta admit, like, he was a goat for, like, trying to get through it. It was kind of brutal. But he read through most of it, and he was like, God damn, like, why did you do that? And we were supposed to, like, pitch the idea to him and get his approval before we started. And I pitched it to him.
You did.
And he literally goes, I really like this. I'm really excited for this. This is, like, the only project I'm going to be looking forward to. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And I realized I had to, like, actually really do good or else I'm going to really disappoint this man. So I worked my ass off, and then I worked too hard.
A little too hard.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, it gave me an excuse to like really dive deep into queer history, and I also do use that project in like my log off stuff. Like when I'm talking to people that have like no idea what's going on in queer history.
You're like, let me tell you about my junior year project.
Yeah, but like I don't tell them it was a junior year project, which I probably should. But no, I'm definitely never gonna. I'm gonna use that forever. But I edited it so that it was less like school-y and more like boom boom like bullet point, right? Mm-hmm. And I gave a bunch of stuff, and I did it. I kept it in alphabetical order instead of like chronological order because I feel like making it chronological makes it really difficult for people to kind of sit through because it feels like a textbook. But when it's in alphabetical order, it feels less daunting because you know, okay, we're on like W, so we're almost at the end or whatever, right? So I keep it in chronological, and I'll sometimes like send it to people who are like, wait, when did this happen? Like, what is this? Like, I didn't realize, like, when were gay people like allowed to do
like,
this? And I'm like, girl, look.
Let me go through my little book.
I know.
Right here, 1990s.
I don't know, dude. I don't know all the numbers off the top of my head, but like I send it to people and people use it, and it's actually really helpful for a lot of younger queer kids that I work with. Because they like are in a space where it's unsafe for them to like search up queer about like gay stuff. And so if I send them this Google Doc with a completely different title, when parents look through search history, it's like not super obvious. So it looks like a school assignment. And I tell kids like don't change what's in the doc, but change the title if you have to.
Okay.
And so I'm giving you this trust to like give you edit permissions. This does not mean like edit the document because I will be able to see who edits the document. But if you need to change the title, change the title. So kids will go in and change the title to like whatever it is that their school assignment is, and they'll read through, get some basic history, feel a little more in control because, something that really helps people identify as what they are and who they are is understanding where it came from, right? And understanding like who came before me and who will come like after me, right? And so kids get to kind of read through that. And then I say kids when I'm talking about like 13-year-olds. They're not that much younger than me, but whatever. But
I think there's a huge difference between 13 and 18, though.
Oh, like maturity-wise, yes. But like in numbers, it's 5 years,
Yeah, but
that's like one high school degree, give or take.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but kids kind of like go through, they read it. It gives them a little bit of history, lets them kind of understand. And then, so it ended up being useful. I did have to make a lot of edits to make it less like school project-esque, but I'm still using it, so I don't hate it. I'm just kind of upset that I did all that work just to ask for an F.
You know what I did for that project? It was also like awful. I didn't know, like my group and I didn't know that it was supposed to be, okay, so we made a video, right? Because you could either do it live, a live presentation, or a video, and you just submit it.
Yeah.
We did a 43-minute video.
Holy.
Yeah. So we covered like pretty much all of like LGBTQ plus history, which is insane. And I remember like towards the end of the video, we were like, oh, and considering that it is June now, we would like to celebrate Pride Month, something like that. We just gave a little like shout out to the LGBTQ plus, and I texted Farron. I was like, hey, I don't think you're gonna be like able to play our video in class, and he was like, why not? And he was like, well, it's 43 minutes long, and he literally he sent me 3 dots in the chat. He was like, what is wrong with you? And
That's 43 minutes he has to sift through just to grade you.
I don't think he watched it, to be honest.
Definitely did not.
I don't think he watched it.
If I was your teacher, I would not. Like, no, that's too much energy.
No, but
I would like speed run it, like at times 2 maybe, just to make sure you're like doing it.
Oh, perhaps. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty valid idea. This fly is killing me.
That fly loves your shoe.
I know. It's just like white. You know what? At this point, like, how did a fly even get in here?
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
I noticed it before the shoot. We were like, it should be fine. It's not fine.
it's not fine. No, and it's weird because it was not here before.
Huh.
Interesting. But okay, so it was a 43-minute video, and we were so confident. We were like, oh my god, you guys, it looks great. And I edited on my PC, and obviously it looked fine. But Farron, bro, he was like, what is actually wrong with you? He's like, you gotta be mentally ill.
Hey, it's okay. I did a 40-something page report.
Oh no, I know. You're more mentally ill than I am.
I know. It's okay. We both struggled through that. We were stuck at home for over a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
We were extremely people and touch deprived, and the only thing we had to kind of keep us alive was school. So we did that. I did so bad, like grade wise, my junior year. Like, it's not even funny, dude. Cause like low key tying it back to like all the log off shit. Like, sorry to bring this back up, but
That's
like,
okay. It's your podcast, girly.
it's your podcast. I'm just here. Anyway, like I joined log off December of 2020. Yes, you know this fact.
Mm-hmm.
And so like junior year is happening and I'm like, I don't care about anything, So yeah, like the first semester of junior year, I like kind of tried, but not really, right? And then I joined log off and I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is something else like I can do to like kill the time because I'm just staring at Netflix and YouTube all day long. And then I started actually working it and then I was like, holy shit, like this is something I can actually do and like it isn't like schoolwork and I'm not being like actually graded on it, right? And there's no value to like no one's placing a value on what I'm doing. The value exists in as what I am doing. And that gave me like so much more comfort. So I only did that. Like I barely turned in anything for any of my classes. And the last like couple weeks, it was just me emailing all of my teachers being like, I'm so sorry. Like if I turn in everything like now, can you, like I hate to ask, like can you grade it? Can you just give me some sort of credit? Like my goal is a C.
I mean, they were able to though,
Yeah, they were
right?
able to and they were beyond kind and they all did that for me. But I was like, I'm aiming for a C. Like if I can do better, great.
That's pretty good aiming.
But like considering I turned in like maybe 3 assignments, like I am aiming for a C. Like I will turn in whatever it is. You want me to do an extra assignment, I will do whatever. Just like at least a C, please.
Kiss your feet, bro.
Literally, I'm like I will like shine your shoes. And they all were like very kind and gracious, and they were like, just turn in X, Y, and Z, and we'll give you the C. And I'm like, thank you. And then some of them were like, yeah, turn as much as you can. I won't give you like late penalty. Like I'll grade it as it is, and then I'll give you whatever. So I ended up with like a couple of A's and like a solid couple B's. But then I was like, I cannot do that with Farron. Like, just let me take the L. Like, I will ingenuity it. And then I ingenuitied it, got the A, and I'm like, okay, then I'm fine. But, like, on the report card, like, it looks okay. Like, it's not great, especially because I'm Asian. It's terrible. But, like...
It made you feel good.
It made me feel good, right? Because, like, I was unbelievably stressed that last month. But I spent the time that I could have been, like, clawing at, like, DBQs and all of that, doing log-off work. And then, senior year starts, I'm in class, I have no idea what's going on, I haven't paid attention to anything, like, in the past year.
You have puffs, you have spelling bee.
I have puffs, I have spelling bee, like, I have no time for anything enjoyable in my life. And so I would, first semester was puffs, so I would be at school, after school I would do puffs, I'd get home, I'd do log off, I'd fall asleep in the middle of doing log off, wake up, go to school. Like, it was just this repetitive cycle. And it felt super just, like, dense. And I felt like a robot. But I was like, I need to keep this gear going, or else, because if I let go of one, I'm going to let go of them all. And I knew like I
That's
had,
literally, that's what I talked about in therapy this week.
God bless all therapists.
No,
Like
literally.
literally. But I knew
Shout out
that
to my therapist. I love my therapist.
I need a new therapist. Anyone know anybody? Please let me know. But
I can hook you up.
please,
Oh gosh.
please, like give me anything.
Wait, you were the person whose mom would always be listening on to the lectures of Mr. Farron, right? And you texted in the chat one time. You were like, "Oh, my sister or my mom, like they love the way you teach. They love." Was that you?
I think that was me. My mom didn't listen every time because like my mom would listen because like she would be like walking past my door and I like in order to keep myself like, do you know what I did? I had the Zooms on and I had the Zoom volume coming out, but I would be on my phone and I would have like some other thing on my phone with my earbuds in and I would be working on my phone.
Good.
Or I would join the Zoom on my phone, have my phone playing out, and then have my work on my computer. Right? So I was never paying attention to what was going on in the Zooms, but my mom would just like be by or like around the corner and just like hear what's going on. And she was like, "Oh, he teaches very well." And I'm like,
Oh, so that was you.
"Okay, thank you." Like what? Like I only mentioned it like once. I knew there were a couple other kids that also said stuff
Oh
similar.
yeah, so.
But I mentioned it. I mentioned my mom once in that class because like he was playing like BTS. And my mom like busted through the door and was like, "Why the hell are you listening to BTS? You're in class."
I remember that.
And I was like, "He's the one that's playing it." She was like, "What are you talking about? You're in history class." And I'm like, "Look at the Zoom, like it's there." And she's like standing there. She's like, "Oh,
I mean, I
okay. Like,
guess.
what are you learning? Like, you wouldn't be learning about the Korean War." And I'm like, "Unfortunately, no, because America historically does not teach Asian history." But I was like, he's
Did
just
we not
playing
learn
it.
about the Korean War? I think we did.
No, we did not. We did
The Vietnam War.
the Vietnam War, and that was it.
The Cold War, World War II, Harlem Renaissance. I'm just naming events.
We
in
did
American
World
history
War.
at this point.
We did World War II but when we talked about Asia, because like the whole Japan bombing,
Yeah, but it wasn't really like.
but it wasn't like the history of that of like Japan side, because like
Yeah,
obviously,
no,
like,
because that's world history.
Yeah, 'cause
you
that's
know,
world
you're supposed to
history.
know that by
and
now.
I didn't learn that in world history. We did not do that ever.
Oh, wait, you were
no.
not here.
I was here for the second semester, and that was around the time that it was supposed to be happening. And then we went on Zoom, and then my teacher
I
just
had
gave
AP
up.
World. Do you know how traumatizing that is?
I'm so glad I did not do any APs in my high school career. I did not take I did one semester of AP seminar and like 3 weeks of AP lit. And I was like, not doing this. No. You will not
Good.
make me do this.
Good. Oh, wait, so you took AP Lit this year?
Yeah, I took AP lit for like
Who was your
3, 4
teacher?
Chase.
Oh, God.
I had Chase.
God, dear Lord.
Bro, I had Chase second period, and what's funny is that I kept missing class because like I have a bunch of like physical illnesses, right? So I'm always in the hospital. I'm always going to the doctor, and I would always show up like third, fourth period, or I would be like halfway into second period, and he's always like, "Where were you?" And I'm like, "The
Dying.
hospital."
Dying.
And he's kind of like, "Oh, go to your seat," and I'm like, "Cool, thanks." And then he'd be like, "Here's the quiz you missed," and I went, "Huh?" And he goes, "The reading you were supposed to do," and I'm like, "Huh?" So I left Chase's class with like a B, and I was like barely holding on to a B, and I was only there for 3 weeks. Like I was already screwed.
No, it was so bad. I tried to like switch out of AP World the first month in, and they were like, nope, can't do it.
Yeah. No,
So-
I swapped out of seminar while on Zoom, and I was like, I'm
Isn't
not
seminar
doing
like
it.
AP Research? Kind
Yeah,
of?
it's the prerequisite for research. And I was like, I'm not doing it. Like I emailed Pellegrini and I was like, there's nothing you can do to make me do it. Like put me in dance, put me in like studio art. I do not care where you put me. I will not be doing this. Like good luck. You want me to take an AP exam? You're funny. Like I literally I was like, you really think I'm gonna do this? And she was like, you signed a thing saying you would do it. And I went, no. And she just goes, okay, where do you want to be? And I'm like, literally anywhere else. And she was like, dance or this or this or this. And I was like, throw me in dance. I don't care. Second semester, I'm in Hula's dance thing. I'm like, not doing that. Did not turn on my camera once. No, that's a lie. I turned it on like 3 times. I was like, not doing it. Not doing it. You're not having my ass up at 9 in the morning moving. Hell no.
That's literally what happened when I was supposed to take psych last year during Zoom. I signed up for it my sophomore year. I was really excited for it. I think all of my friends were taking psych, and like a week before school starts, I get an email from Pellegrini. She's like, "Hey girl, there are no more spots left for psych, so I need to put you in another class. What do you want to take?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, I don't know. I was really hoping for psych. And she was like, well, it just doesn't fit with your
How is
schedule.
there too many kids? It's a Zoom room.
That's what I'm saying, dog. Like, I don't know. Because, like, the thing is, I used to be in tennis. So, like, it would clash with my classes. And they, but it really pissed me off. Because I knew, like, a lot of my friends were taking AP Psych. And, you know, I love my friends, but some of them did not deserve to take Psych. Like, some of them were just, like, failing. They wouldn't go to class. And I'm like, I wish I could be in that class, you know?
Yeah.
And so to go in with that story, I was like, well, back then I was planning to go to college, like a 4-year. And I was like, well, you know, I might as well take another science. So I was hoping for physio or physics. Nope. I got put into apes. Apes. Can you believe
apes.
that? Oh
That's
my
so
God.
funny, you got
And
apes.
and she was like, hey, I put you into AP environmental science. And I was like, what? Why?
She's like, you
why'd
asked
you
for
do that?
science.
Yeah, I was not going to sign up for an AP science. You know, I tried it out for the first semester. It was awful.
Jesus.
It was so bad. It was Furman, by the way.
Ooh.
So it was Furman.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The pain that I feel in my heart, and I've never had him as a teacher. I've just heard everything.
Yeah, you've heard it all. So it was really bad. And not only did I, like, the language was really unknown to me because it's, like, stuff that I don't really learn. It's not stuff that you talk about on your everyday life. So as much as I'm fluent in English and I know, like, the basics of nature and Earth, I don't know a lot about Earth.
Bro, each rock got like a weird ass like side
Yeah,
name. I'm like, good luck.
Like, you're talking about landfill, you're talking about the ocean, you're talking about wind.
Landfill equals trash. That's all I got. That's all I got, dude.
Yeah, no, it's like I didn't understand language that they were speaking in, and I was like, I literally feel like I'm back to my English 1 class when I was 5 years old. I
Right.
felt so stupid. And I would look at the questions and I'd be like, what is this asking? Like, what are these words? What is this saying to me? How should I even answer? So Quizlet, you know, most of the time Quizlet.
Yes. God bless
And-
Quizlet.
God bless. And there was one time where she gave us a weird assignment and it was really long and she made it due the same night that she assigned it, which is like insane. Why would you even do that in the first place? That's illegal.
Not actually, but like, you know.
Yeah, you know, like, you shouldn't do that. Not fair. So it was this really long question, and no one knew how to answer it. So obviously everyone did
Failed
Quizlet.
it.
No,
Oh,
everyone Quizlet it. And the day after, she was like, so I saw your responses, and most of you, I cannot believe you. Like, why were you cheating? Why were you, like, plagiarizing? You know, like, I'm really good at catching cheaters because, you know, after I see the second person saying that the water is absolutely beautiful in California, then, you know, I know that something's off. And, like, a solid 10 people did that. Like, they literally copied and pasted everything. I was one of them. I was one of them. But, like, she didn't care. Like, she didn't take it to the magnet office or anything.
Oh, yeah.
So it was not a big deal, but I did drop the class.
Was treating it.
Yeah, I did drop the class. I basically cried to Pellegrini. I was like, there's no way I'm passing this class or the AP exam. Like, there's just simply no way. So I took PE again for another semester, which is so stupid because I did absolutely nothing. That was my nap period, and I passed it with an A.
Yes.
With an A.
Nap periods are great. Nap periods are great.
You know what I love is that I brought you here today, and we were supposed to, like, talk about log off and talk about your work.
Oh, and now we're talking about how we failed junior year. Yeah.
I didn't fail junior year.
I
think I
did.
did pretty good. Okay, that's you, girl.
Hey, life turned out okay. I don't define myself based on how well I do academically in school because that literally does not matter.
It does not
because
define
like
you.
in what world am I expected to like remember a random piece of history when I have a cell phone in my hand that can Google it? Like, you know what I mean? That's what I find ridiculous about the American school system and like the way that tests work, especially standardized tests. Like, in what world are you expected to fully know everything? Like, even doctors go back to textbooks and consult with each other. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like people that you can, and like lawyers consult each other, like people that you consider the smartest and the greatest in the world, they consult each other and they talk about it. Like peer-reviewed journals and essays, like those things exist because you always need to double check and fact check and get other opinions. So why is it that in school from a young age you're teaching children that what is important is being able to memorize just random inconsistent facts and just be able to regurgitate it on a paper? Like that doesn't make sense to me.
It's so stupid. I do think that that the subjects that matter the most in school are definitely English and your basic math.
English and basic math. No,
Literally, that's all you need.
I don't understand why schools require students to take higher level math.
That's so stupid.
Like to algebra 2, like, okay, sure.
I understand geometry a little.
Geometry.
A little. It's kind of fun when you understand it.
Yeah, but like proofs suck. Like personal opinion,
why
math
would you use
sucks.
proof?
No, I don't understand why I have to explain how I know like 2 + 2 = 4. Like it just is okay.
Awful.
Like accept it.
Like,
if you're gonna accept that like water is water is water, and I don't have to prove to you water is water, why do I have to prove to you 2 + 2 = 4? Anywho, but like college and for like gen eds, I don't understand why they make you take higher level math unless you're going into like economics or engineering or like physics, like something that like needs that math.
I think the people who take like high level math are those people.
Yeah.
So like I guess that's understandable.
You know what's dumb? For the political science degree I'm trying to get, you need like calculus.
Same thing for psych. You need stats.
Why do I need calc and stats? I'm doing political science.
I understand a little bit of stats, because you have to like look at graphs and understand statistics.
Yeah, but
man,
I know 50% is 50. I can look at a thing and be like, this is 36%.
I can look at a graph and tell that there's a significant difference,
Exactly.
So like,
I can look at a group of people and be like, there's majority white people here. Like, what else do I need? To count all the ballots and say this many people voted and that's X percent? Great, I can do that with what? A calculator. Like, I like that. Like, what bothers me is that the American school, like especially higher education system, costs so much money for you to relearn things that are literally offered in high schools.
Yeah.
And so many high-level universities do not accept APs and AP exams as credit for college.
And that's literally what they tell you in high school. They're like, you're going to be able to skip this class in college. Like,
they
what
lie.
if I don't?
It's all lies,
It's a
children.
scam, you guys.
It's a scam. And College Board is a for-profit organization.
Exactly.
Bro, there are so many things wrong with the education system that, like, I want to get into and I want to fight. But right now, my focus is on social media. And it's so angering because as soon as I can get, like, a grip on social media and, like, get it fixed, I'm moving on. I'm getting something else. Like, I'm fighting another issue because there's so many issues to face. Not that I'm going to be able to solve them all, but goddamn, I'm willing to die trying.
Can you tell me what this week has looked like for you?
Oh my God. What does this week look like for me?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. I'm going to start from like last Friday. Okay. Or I'll start from last Thursday. Let's do like all the way to today. Okay. Last Thursday, I went to work. I work at AMC Theaters. Visit me, AMC Porter Ranch 9. I will be working here for the next like 2.5 years because I'm going to community college because I failed high school.
Okay, you didn't fail high school.
I didn't fail it.
And you're not going to community college because you failed high school. You're going to community college to pursue your dream.
Yes, because I applied to college too early and I put in like arts and entertainment management and English as my majors instead of stopping and realizing that what I really want is political science. Anywho, I went to work. I worked. I went home. I answered a million emails asking for my time in Zoom meetings, which I love meeting people. I hate Zoom. Zoom pisses me off so much. I agreed to do all these Zoom meetings. Friday, I did a couple Zoom meetings. I went to school. I went to work, did a couple Zoom meetings. Saturday morning, I went to he's not like my biological younger brother, but I've literally known him since he was in like kindergarten, so he's basically my younger brother. Okay. I went to his little Eagle Project thing. I went to support him. I had to reschedule a meeting that I had planned because my mother didn't tell me that I needed to go to his Eagle Project because no one told me that his Eagle Project was that Saturday. Went to that thing, came back home, did my Zooms, went to work. Oh, and then I wrote a letter to the head of like the LGBTQ caucus in California. Wrote a letter to him, sent it. Well, sent it to the like team of lawyers, and then they sent it over. And then Sunday, I went on a call, another Zoom call to finalize some details on said letter. So they didn't send it yet. They sent it Sunday afternoon. Did all that, officially signed the document. They went on their way. I went to a concert instead of going to prom on Saturday because prom is stupid. Prom is stupid. It is so expensive.
Here's
for
my
no
take
reason.
on prom, dude. Prom is literally an expensive quince that you go to.
Bro.
That's literally all it is.
Prom is an overly expensive quince, but no one is the star.
No, it's a star. Just like the prom queen and king. And
Yeah,
you know,
and even
like,
then they
you
get
know
attention
what,
for like 5 minutes, and then no one cares.
You know what the worst part is? Like, you have to pay so much. You have to pay for your makeup, a dress, and then...
No, literally, like a prom, like just for, especially for girls, prom can
so
easily
expensive.
cost like $500.
Oh, yes, 1,000%.
Yeah, that's insane.
And, like,
so I was like,
people-
screw that. I'm not going to do that.
And, like, people would ask me, like, hey, you're going to prom right now? I'm like, no. You know how many times I have to explain myself? Like,
No, I don't understand why I have to
million
explain
times.
like, I didn't go to prom. I'm not going to go to grad night.
Oh, I'm not going to go to grad
I'm not going to go to grad
either.
night. Why? It's expensive. It's stupid. It's expensive. And also, like,
Why would I go to
have-
Universal for $125?
Exactly. Also, I have physically debilitating diseases. My body cannot handle walking around and being in this, like, even though it's at night, like, you know, if God forbid, like, the sun was out, like, I can't do that. I can't be in the sun. I can't be walking around a lot. I don't have, like, the physical energy to do that. My body will literally crash.
Plus, it's Universal.
And it's Universal. Fuck Universal. Not like I don't hate Universal, but I'm like, I don't like roller coasters. Roller
Didn't
coasters.
you literally go to Disney last summer?
No. Do you know what I did? I went to Disney and I was all of my friends' bag holder, phone holder, and I paid for a lot of people's food. That's what I did.
Want to go to Disney?
You
Wait,
know what?
actually,
Honestly, I'm down. I'll be your bag holder.
You know, I've never been to Disney. Never.
The first time I went to
ever.
Disney was this summer before school started. Because I also wanted to go to Disney because I had been planning to shave my head. So I shaved my head the
so
night
that was-
before,
yeah.
and then I went to Disney, and I didn't tell my friends I shaved my head, and I got out of the
it.
car, threw my hat off, and all of them were like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "I know!" And like I felt really insecure, and I wore my hat for most of the day. But at the end of the
saw your
night,
pictures.
yeah, at the end of the night, I took the hat off, and I was kind of like, okay, like I'm in this really big public space, and I'm bald right now, like this is like really intimidating, and I honestly did like kind of freak out, and I cried a little bit. And while I was like having that small panic attack, this like random woman came up to me, and she was like, "I just want to say you look so fucking badass."
Aww.
And I like looked at her, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And I started crying. And she just like literally, I've never met this woman in my life. She wrapped her arms around me and she was like, "You're gonna be okay. I don't know what's going on. I can tell this is kind of bothering you. I want you to know you look badass. If anyone tells you otherwise, fuck them. You look great. Stand up tall and get those pictures. Get those goddamn pictures."
I mean, that is so beautiful.
And so I threw my hat and I got those pictures.
That happened at Disney.
That happened at Disneyland. Yo, Disneyland's great. Disneyland. Anyway, back to the shit. Sunday, I went to a concert, P1 Harmony. It was great. I don't honestly know. It's a K-pop group. I didn't really know them that well. I still don't. The entire time I was asking my one
You're
friend.
just
I was
there
like,
for the
"That one is that his name?" And she's like, "No." And I'm like, "Fuck, close enough." But by the end of the night, I was able to identify them all.
Good.
I was able to identify them all. And I went to the concert. I went home. I bought Chipotle. Fucking love Chipotle. Monday, went back to school. Listened to everyone tell me that I missed a great time. Don't care.
didn't.
I know.
You didn't.
I didn't. They're lying.
They only played
Liars.
white people songs.
I know. I heard they only
You
play white
know,
people
like
songs.
that's really upsetting. And for me, as an immigrant and as a Venezuelan, it's like I need.
You're Venezuelan? I did not know that.
It's literally. I mean, I will literally murder you right now. What do you think I was?
I don't sit here and think like, what is Andrea? But like, I don't know. My brain didn't like put a label. I was like, you're Latina.
I am Latina. I am from Venezuela. Yes.
Nice.
It's awful, but thank you.
I heard it's very pretty.
It is very pretty, indeed. Yeah, but so as a Venezuelan, we party hard. Like we have good music.
Koreans also party very hard.
I have heard that.
We
And,
party.
You know, to hear that the last song they played at prom was "We Are Young" and everyone got emotional to that. It's like how? Like
I didn't hear that, and that's funny.
it is.
Yo.
It is hilarious. Like how can you? I would not take myself seriously if
Oh my
they
God.
played "We Are
Are
Young"
Young.
at prom. Like they were playing songs that I listen to in the shower whenever I feel like I'm in a 2010s bar.
Oh my God.
You know, like it's
That
not
is the
bad.
dream.
It's not bad, but like I wouldn't want that at prom.
Yeah. At prom? Hell no.
No.
No, like, see, We Are Young as the final song sucks. The final song that I had at my concert fucking slapped. No, I literally have that one song on repeat because like that like adrenaline rush was crazy. Also, I literally like while I was getting ready to go to the concert, I started crying because I had realized that that night was the first time in about 3 months that I was allowed to just be a teenager.
Oh, I was gonna ask why, but I literally know
You
why.
know why?
Yeah,
Like
I know
I
why.
was up in Sacramento. I was like, I've been so suit and tie.
Guys, she passes bills. Can you believe that?
I know.
She goes to Sacramento.
I go to
She
Sacramento,
writes
I
for the
pass bills.
Sacramento Bee and print. You know, that's funny. You got as many articles on the Sacramento Bee as
I
you
know.
did
I
in the
have
Mirror.
I have the exact same amount of articles in the Sacramento Bee that I do in the Mirror, and it is the funniest thing. But and also Sacramento Bee, it was a one try, one hit.
What does that mean? What do you mean?
Like
by that?
like I tried once to get on, and I got in. One try, one hit.
You're just that good.
VNHS the Mirror, 6 tries, 1 hit. Anywho, like
Yeah.
I started getting really emotional because I was like, this is probably the last chance I will have to just freely be 18-year-old Emmy, you know?
That's
Like,
oh my god, it's so liberating,
especially-
right?
Yeah, it's so liberating, but also so scary because especially after like COVID, right? That was like 2 years of us being stuck at home, me not being able to do anything, and that's when I started this career. Like unknowingly, I started my political career, and from like being like cooped up in my house to suddenly like being thrown on a high school campus, like I like it's not this like elitist attitude of like I'm better than you because I do all this political work, but it's like
You kind of are.
shut up. No, it's not that, but it's like in my head I can feel myself saying like I could be doing so much more with my time right now. Like if I didn't have to sit here in class, I could be on a Zoom meeting. I could be in meetings right now. I can be in pitch meetings. I can be in consultant meetings. I could like literally be drafting stuff right now. Like there's so many things that I could be doing instead of sitting in this class like waiting for the bell to ring, you know? And I was just constantly in that mindset. And when I was free to do my work in the political space, like I'm going in 210%. And then all of a sudden, like I finally get to wear a crop top and go run and scream in a concert venue and like, be stupid and like run not half naked, but like, run around the streets of LA in a crop top buying Chipotle. Like that's something
That's not
that
something you do every day.
that's not something I get to do every day. And if I did do that on a normal occasion, like I would be so judged for it. And the entire time I was so nervous because I was like, the documentary just came out, and not that I think that I'm some celebrity, but like a lot of people are watching that documentary and a lot of
So
people
it's
are
like it
looking at
sets
me
expectations
and there's
for you.
expectations on me. And I
Yeah.
always feel like there's somebody watching me. And so I don't feel like I'm allowed to order Chipotle. I don't feel like I'm allowed to go to a movie. I don't feel like I'm allowed to sit in a pair of brown athletic shorts and be filmed. Like even like me having this blanket over my legs, it's because I'm so afraid that like in the future, if I end up pursuing like being a politician instead of like
They're gonna bring it up.
they're
They'll be like,
gonna bring this up.
Remember
And like
you when you were 18?
no,
and you
I'm
looked
literally like
crap?
sitting here. I'm like, I feel comfortable sharing this, like even though I know it's being recorded and I'm being with you, but like me mentioning that I like asked to fail a history class as someone who wants to go into politics. That's insane. A U.S. history class. Like I asked to fail a U.S. history class. Like in like 5-10 years, like probably not 5, but like close to 10-15 years. Like let's say like totally like crazy. Like I try to run to be president, right? Not that that's in my plan at all, but like like what if I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. If I try to go run to be president,
They're
and
gonna be
someone
like,
finds this
"Remember
video, they're gonna be
junior year?"
people are gonna talk to me about my junior year and how I failed a U.S. history class, and like they're like, well, why do you think you're qualified to run this country if you can't even pass a history class based on this country? And it's like there's so many expectations on me to be so idyllic and perfect, and I'm like, I didn't get a chance to be a crazy high schooler. And even now that I have the sliver of that chance, it's there's even a tighter grip on me. Like we have this team of adults that I work with. There's like a couple lawyers, a couple lobbyists, it's like there's like a squad of us. And they went through my Instagram and my Twitter and my Facebook. I have like no posts on it. There's like a couple happy birthdays on my wall. And they were like looking through all my stuff, and they're like, you're gonna need to take this down. You're gonna need to take this down. You're gonna need to change this caption. You're gonna need to delete all these comments because you swore in them. You're gonna need to take this off and that off. And I was like,
So
why?
you're like censoring me.
Like it's not Yes, but also like no, like I understand why they're doing it, right?
Yeah,
Because
it's like a
like photos of
professional
me like
way,
flipping off a camera and doing the like over angle thing, like yeah, like that's something that like teenagers are doing, but that's not something that
A
a
professional,
professional can
yeah.
do. And like, you know, so I
Which
was
that kind of sucks because
like, it sucks because I don't
it's still part of your identity.
exactly like
So
like even though I work in a space where I want social media to be safer, that
like
means that
you're not hurting anyone by
right,
flipping someone off.
I'm not
yeah.
hurting anyone trying to do that. Like my birthday, my 18th birthday post originally was like, "Hey shithead, do you want pizza?" Like, "Happy birthday shithead, do you want pizza?" Like something like that. Like someone had said that to me like that earlier that day, and I was like, "Hell yeah, I want pizza." And I put that as the quote for my caption for my 18th birthday because like I'm finally 18, you know? And that's like to speak truthfully, like I growing up like the beginning of high school, I didn't think I would live to my 18th birthday, right? So hitting my 18th birthday and like being offered a slice of pizza as a celebratory, like that was crazy to me. So I put that as my caption, and then I was told like you need to delete that. You need to change it. So now if you look at my Instagram page, my 18th birthday post is just the number 18. And it's like, you know, I'm not mad at the fact that like, you know, I need to be professional because I get it. It's what I signed up for. I'm just upset that like every other politician got their drunk college nights
Ted
and their,
Cruz.
you know, like Ted Cruz, like they all got their drunk college nights and they're, you know, they're like riding a bike and down the neighborhood, you know, they all got their, you know, their stupid roommates and their, you know, all that. I don't get that. And I'm beyond thankful for all the opportunities that I've been getting. And I, you know, I wouldn't like trade where my career is now for anything. But God, do I wish that I could, you know, just
Take a break.
yeah.
Like, step back.
God, do I wish I could go to prom and not care, you know, or go to a concert and you know, go do this, go do that, like post something stupid on my Instagram. Because now everything is looked at. And I'm like,
Do you believe in right time, right place? Like you are in life where you're supposed to be. Like you shouldn't force things.
yes and no.
Okay.
I don't know. Because like I
I feel like you're in control of a lot of things, but at the same time, you should just let things flow.
yeah.
And you know, right now you're in this place in life where you chose where you want to be, but at the same time, you wish you could be doing.
I feel like I chose where I want to be, and this is where I want to be. I just am flustered by when it came.
Yeah, like it came by so quickly. You've had so much success in such a little time.
Exactly.
And in the span of 2 years, you know, you're passing legislation.
Yeah.
You're writing articles for the Sacramento Bee, which is, you know, it's huge.
It's crazy.
And, you know, I'm going to keep a lot of this information for my article, which is coming out for the next print for the Mirror. Yes, sir. Wrote by me, edited by Angelica Venturina. So you should definitely look forward for that. But, you know, I think that eventually when you make it big, you're going to have a lot of time to do the things that you're not able to do right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully. And hopefully you invite me to those things because I want to be part of your life when that happens.
I believe me when I say this, like, you are forever going to be a part of my life.
You're not getting rid of me. I mean, like, you're just not. Like,
oh no,
like, you
I
can
would never
leave.
plan to. No, you are with me forever. Like
Thank you.
anything I'm doing, like
is so
I'm taking you
beautiful.
with me because
Thank
there's no way I'm gonna leave you behind. You've
I'm not-
you've done so much for me,
I'm
and
not
you've
getting
helped me
left
so
behind.
much. I'm never leaving you behind.
I
But
love you.
yeah, I love you too. And in terms of the like right time, right place stuff, like I slightly hesitate to say this not because I'm ashamed of it, but because like, you know, I know what kind of comes with that, and I know that people are really gonna question, you know, my identifying of it. But like, I am Christian, right? So I believe that, you know, God has a plan for me, whatever it may be, right? And I you know, I do not judge anyone for who, like, you know, if they don't believe in God, if they, you know, believe in some sort of other, you know, higher power, like, I, you know, do what you want. Like, that's not my place to, like, enforce that on you. And, like, you know, I am 110% for, you know, women's choice and LGBTQ rights and, like, you know, because I'm not, like, an asshole, you know, but, you know, I am Christian, you know, a lot of my, at least in terms of, like, when I'm really struggling to make a choice, like, I turn to God, you know, like I crack open a Bible, I pray, I sit there and I think like, what would God want me to do here? What would God want me to say? And, you know, and when it came to like all these opportunities coming, I was terrifyingly overwhelmed and I like sat there and I prayed on it and I was like, okay, God has control over what's going on with me, right? If he is giving me all these opportunities, this is his way of like sending me a sign saying like, this is where you need to be. So, okay, I'll take it. I said yes to everything, and some of them fell apart, you know, like as soon as I like accepted like, okay, God is the one that is leading me to this. God is the one that is sending me these opportunities, and I'll accept everything that comes my way. I now still to this day say yes to everything. And then, you know, as things happen,
You're able to set the boundaries or whatever.
No, like it's not that I don't set the boundaries. Like it's like somebody asks, like, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And I say yes, and like, "Oh, sorry, things changed, right?"
Yeah, so you set the boundaries.
Yeah, and like those commitments break apart, and I'm like, okay, and all of a sudden when I'm looking at it, the commitments that I do have, they are things that I can handle and things it's at the moment that I can handle it, and they don't overlap, they don't overwhelm me, and I'm like, okay, this surge of like a lot is God telling me like, hey, this is where you need to be. I will clean this later. Just be here, So I go there and I sit there and I'm like, okay, this is where I am, and I'm gonna follow you, And it's a lot of people like really like get pulled back when I say like I'm Christian, I listen to God, and I like turn to Him for advice. But it's like,
I get it.
It's what I didn't grow up Christian either. Like I walked into Christianity in January of 2020 when I transferred here because I was like, I'm so lost. I need something, And I was like, screw it. If it has to be church, it'll be church. And I walk in and I'm like, holy shit, it's gonna be church,
Yeah.
And I like I'm not the perfect Christian. I'm not the perfect person. I still swear. I still do this. I still do that. But like, it's not even like. And you've known me for forever, and like I think this is the first time you're finding out that I'm Christian. Like I don't.
Yeah, this is the first time that I know.
Yeah, like I don't preach on people. I don't like be like you have to believe in God. Like I don't stand in front of Planned Parenthood and like be like baby. It's like no, I'm not like that because that's fucking stupid. And whenever I see other Christians like that, I'm like you're not Christian. But like anywho, that's a conversation we can have a whole nother day.
Yeah.
And the bell did ring, and I do have to go to the bus, but it's fine. It's fine. I'll just make somebody come pick me up. But like I struggle a lot when it comes to like being able to differentiate like what I need
and what you want,
what I need, what I want, and like what I'm allowed to say no to, right? Because I know what I'm comfortable with and I know what I'm allowed to have and what I want, but also like I can't just, I feel like I can't just say no to things because if I say no to this like big opportunity, then someone's gonna turn around and tell me, like I'm gonna like lose some sort of connection, or I'm gonna lose something. I'm gonna lose a network, and all of a sudden like everything's gonna unravel. And I'm so afraid that like you pull that one string on your shirt and the entire shirt falls apart.
Yeah.
So especially because I'm young and I'm being handed so many opportunities because I'm a young person, right? People feel bad turning away the high schooler, but people don't feel bad turning away the college student looking for an intern. So I'm like really trying to like soak everything up like a sponge and just like milk everything because this is the only time I'm going to be able to. And so I'm missing like so many days of school, and my parents are getting upset about it. And I'm telling them like,
and it's totally fair.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm being handed opportunities right now because I'm the high schooler. I need to milk this now and like literally get everything I can out of it, because then as soon as I become
college student,
a college
it's not the
student,
same,
no one's going to give me anything
because
unless
they're
I build
like,
these connections.
You're not so young anymore. You don't.
Exactly. They're like, we're not going to hand you anything.
You're an adult.
Exactly. You're an adult. They're going to, even though I'm 18,
you figure
like they're
it out
going to.
on your own.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, totally. Like, I totally understand that. And like, I feel like when you go to college, people see you as an adult. And I feel like a lot of us are still like figuring things out. So, I mean, you've been talking about how you were able to live your true identity when you went to that concert that other night. And I feel like this applies to when you go to college. It's like you're still figuring out who you are because you haven't had the chance to do it because you've been working your ass off.
Yeah.
So it's a weird place in identity, and I totally relate to a lot of things because I got myself involved with film. And it's like, damn, I could have been going out with my friends who do nothing.
Yeah.
Or I could have made the content that makes me really happy.
Right.
So it's like it's a weird balance that I have. But I'm happy with where I'm at right now. If I did not get involved with film, I probably wouldn't even be so enthusiastic about having a video podcast.
No, and I'm for people watching through the video, I am looking at my phone. I'm trying to text my parents. So I have a ride home, but like I am proud of you and the work that you're doing because like I've watched you like go through this and like
you've literally seen me grow. You've seen me go from nothing.
We watched each other grow. Like that's what's happening.
Oh my god, that is so. I just realized that is so beautiful.
Girl, I promise you, if I ever become a successful politician, I'm taking you with me. Press secretary? Videographer?
I'll be anything you want me to be.
Like
I don't care. I'll be there.
I will be there for you if you need anything.
Thank you. Money.
As soon as I have it and I am secure in my own, I will start.
All right. I think that should be a wrap on your episode. Emmy, thank you so much for joining here. And there are so many things that I wanted to talk about. But
we can do a part 2 or something.
Yeah, we'll definitely have a part 2 after
whenever.
the article comes out and everyone reads it. Dude, I swear, like, I'm giving you like 20 copies when print comes out. Just distribute them to your family and everyone. It's gonna be a good article. I've seen the edits and it's really good. So that's a wrap on Emmy Kim. Thank you guys for watching another podcast for Your Life with Spice, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.